Hey everyone, it's TheMightyPnut here, and today I'm going to be doing yet another breakdown and analysis of some Halo 4 content. In this episode I'm going to be talking about war games. I'm going to segment this episode into chunks just so it's a bit easier to manage, and to group similar information together. Hopefully I might have picked up something you haven't in these trailers, in which case you could learn something new, but if not, feel free to correct me on any of my mistakes, or just add more information in the comments. So, to kickstart this episode I think I'm going to begin with weapons. So far, there are a number of confirmed weapons for use in Halo 4's multiplayer. In the current loadout system, you can spawn with a primary weapon and a secondary weapon. To my knowledge, I'm pretty sure that the only primary weapons you can spawn with are the battle rifle, the assault rifle, the DMR, the storm rifle, and the Covenant carbine. As for secondary weapons, I've only heard of the Magnum and the plasma pistol so far, but the plasma pistol seems quite a powerful secondary to have with a one-shot weapon like a DMR. Not sure how that's going to pan out, but I'm sure it'll be balanced. Now, as well as spawning with weapons with loadouts, you can also unlock further weapons through ordnance drops. You may have noticed in some gameplay that there's a little cube inside a circle with a ring that fills itself after every kill. This is just the on-screen meter that shows you how close to the next ordnance drop you are. When you do unlock the drop, you're prompted with a mini D-pad menu, where you can select if you want a light weapon like a needler, a heavier weapon like a scattershot, or an ability like overshield. When the ordnance is dropped, it's free to be picked up by anyone on your team or the other team. It even has its own waypoint on the radar and on everyone's heads-up display. Now, while we're still on the subject of weaponry, probably one of the most interesting things that I found from some of this gameplay is how the sticky launcher works. In this clip, you can see a player firing it all the way down a very long hallway, the grenade sticking to another player, and then detonating. When shot in this way though, the sticky launcher is closed down and almost looks like a pistol, whereas in this clip here, the grenade's shot on the floor in front of a player, and a screen's protruding from the side. If you look closely, you'll see that the screen actually features a miniature radar, with pretty clear dots of where the enemies are. A ring represents where the grenade is, and I'm sure this system will make it a lot easier to work out timings and gauge distances when trying to take out enemies with a sticky launcher. My final point on weapons is something that you've probably already noticed by now, and that's just that on most weapons, at least most primary weapons, there are small markers around the central reticle to show whether or not your bullets have actually hit the enemy. Now swiftly on to section 2, which won't be very big at all because it's just about vehicles. Now the only vehicle gameplay we've actually got is some short clips of a ghost on this snowy map. If we pause for a second, there's a couple of things I find quite interesting about the ghost gameplay. Firstly, take a look at the left hand side of the screen just above the radar. This is where the ordnance logo should be, and isn't. I'm guessing that this means that you can't progress towards an ordnance drop with kills owned by ghosts or other powerful vehicles. Next is quite a minor thing, and you'd think it would be expected, but I was a little bit surprised about this. It's just that there are hit markers on ghosts as well as normal weapons. The final thing I noticed about the ghost interface is just that the boost bar is represented now by a percentage as opposed to the classic general bar. And finally we're brought to our last section, which is of course equipment. I briefly touched on equipment in the last episode of the Spartan Ops breakdown, comparing things like the thruster pack, but let me start off this section by listing all the armor abilities that 343 has definitely confirmed so far. As of right now, there are the thruster pack, the hardlight shield, Promethean vision, hologram, jetpack, and of course unlimited sprint. Now there isn't actually that much multiplayer footage of most of these abilities at the moment, especially jetpack as it was only just confirmed, but they are all coming. As well as armor abilities though, there are tactical packages, which include the shield package, making your shields recharge faster, the firepower package, letting you spawn with 2 primary weapons on your loadout. There are support upgrades, such as the awareness upgrade, letting you alter your HUD, the ammo upgrade, letting your weapon hold a lot more shots, and the sensor upgrade, which increases information on nearby enemies. Now that's pretty much all I've got for you today guys. My info is completely run dry. Feel free to correct any of my mistakes in the comments below, or just leave any more info for other people to see. Like this if you enjoyed, it took a while to put together. Favourite if you want. Subscribe for more awesome Halo 4 content. Thanks for watching guys, I'll see you all later. Each week a new cinematic comes out with 5 missions attached to it. When you go to play Spartan Ops with others, you can either join with a full party or search for other players. The 5 missions are then voted on, like maps and game types in previous Halo matchmaking.